protect your privacy and identity, unlock censor filters if you're trying to get to a no-no site, or you just want to be anonymous, whatever your reasonings are, you can connect to the VPN tunnels within seconds by using private internet access. Links are in the description. It's so low, like the cost is so low. If you're not able to afford for this, then you're just broke just as I am, because I'm trying to get affiliates ads going on. Yeah, this is a sponsored video, by the way. VPN features, and look at all these great features: secured VPN account, encrypted Wi-Fi, peer-to-peer support, and so on and so forth. And you can connect to 33 different countries, and there's a lot of servers to go around. Plus, there's a fast download. I use this for myself as well when I try to get to those no sites. Yeah. Okay, let's go back to the continued content, and thank you for the support. Links in the description. Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy 𝗵𝗁𝗀𝗀𝗀, and today we're going to be talking about the automatic low bitrate scene switching and also setting up a RTMP server on Windows. However, if you ever get lost, here are some references towards the videos that I've done in the past of how to set up a RTMP server on Windows, how to set up an RTMP server on Linux. And this is how to set up a automatic low bitrate scene switching for Linux, but now we're doing Windows 5 months later. So this is going to be a bit of a lengthy video, so I strongly suggest have some patience, because yeah, again, it's going to be a lengthy video. All links will be in the description down below for whatever I talk about, so just want to throw that out there. Let's start off with setting up a static IP, because that's really important. Every time that you reset your computer, your local machine IP address might change, and we always want to keep that the same. So we're going to show that the first thing. Next thing is we're going to set up the Nginx Gryphon, which is the version of the Nginx server, and you're going to be needing these two files, which they'll be directly from Microsoft's website, so you don't have to worry about all that. Right here's the script that we're going to be looking at and using. Then we're going to be setting up a npm manager and also installing the services from the Nginx OBS automatic low bit rate. So and these are also scripts. Every time that you reset your computer, these scripts will run the RTMP server and the automatic low bitrate server. So every time, again, once you reset your computer, it will act as the server. So if you're out and about and something happens, your computer reboots, everything will come back to normal. All right, so let's go ahead and begin. First things first, we're gonna set up a static IP, then we're going to port forward those IPs, which I will have a video in the description of how to port forward on certain select models and manufacturers. So I can't cover all routers / modems of port forwarding. Use Google, I believe in you. All right, so first things first is open up command prompt, and you're going to type in ipconfig. Then it'll show my network settings. And I strongly recommend that you be on Ethernet. Don't connect to Wi-Fi. If you can connect to Ethernet, awesome. If not, then I guess Wi-Fi won't hurt, but you'll see more promising results if you're connected to Ethernet. So here on the bottom right, you'll have this little icon or the little wireless bars, and you're going to right click, go to network and internet options. Then this box will appear. Then you're going to select change adapter options. And you're going to right click on Ethernet, or it'll say Wi-Fi. Select one of those two, whenever you are using. Go to properties. Then you're going to scroll down, and you're going to see Internet Protocol version 4 TCP IPv4. And go ahead and double click on it or select it, then hit properties. Now this is where we're going to manually assign a IP address. So mine says 11.0.0.6. Yours might say 10.0.0. whatever, or 192.168.0. whatever. You want to match whatever that is. So the first part is really important. Well, all the steps are important. So again, if yours is 192.168.0. something, give it 50. If it's 192.168.1. whatever, just still give it 50 at the end. then you're gonna give it a subnet mask of 255.255.255.0. Then as for the default gateway, you're just gonna go ahead and copy that and put it in as you see. Same thing with the preferred DNS, put in the default gateway IP address right there. You can leave alternate DNS blank, that's completely fine. So let me go ahead and put my settings in. 50, then 255, 255, 255, then the default gateway. And go ahead and close it and go to Google and see if you're able to browse the internet as normal. If so, awesome. If not, then redo the settings until they fit by going back to properties, then Internet Protocol version 4, TCP/IP v4, and mess with the settings until they are fixed, until it works. If it doesn't, just leave it out automatic. Then it'll revert the settings back, then you'll have your internet back. So now if I go ahead and clear this off, and now my IP address is 11.0.0.50. Yours will say 192.168. Whatever you signed it, right? Awesome. Okay, so that's it for setting up a IP address. Now we need to port forward. So you need to port forward 1935, which is the RTMP, and you're going to port forward 4444, which is another tool that I'll be showing here in a second or later on in the video. So make sure, oops, hold on. I'm gonna have to move this off to the side because it'll actually show my real IP until I go to the advanced tab and go to port forwarding. I'm not trying to show my real IP address. Okay, so 1935 is already occupied by another machine, but I want to be occupied by this machine. So now we're gonna go ahead and make sure it's on towards this desktop. And we're also going to port forward 4444. Ooh. Okay, now that these are port forward correctly, what you can do is go to canyouseeme.org after we get these services running, and it'll say, yeah, we can see you. So I'll show you how to do that after we get all this up and running. Okay, so let's go ahead and close out of this. Next thing, what we want to do is go towards our LiveU website to set up a destination. So you're going to click the plus button and you're going to scroll all the way down and it'll say RTMP generic. You're going to go ahead and click on that. Then you're going to give it a name. So this is going to be YouTube tutorial. And you're going to give it a profile. So are you going to be streaming at 1280 by 720, which I strongly recommend, unless if you have really good high bandwidth of all four modems going towards that LiveU, then that's where you can do a 1080. But I stream at 720 just to save myself some bandwidth. So whatever you're streaming at, select the profile. And then it'll say primary ingress URL. Now this is where you'll type in RTMP : // then the IP address, not of the machine that you assigned, but the IP address of your actual internet. And to get that is go to ipchicken.com, and whatever is on ipchicken.com in blue text, you're going to get that IP address. If you also know how to set up a DNS name, then you can port, or you could forward that DNS name to the IP address. However, just get the IP address and just go ahead and put it here. So we're just going to pretend that this here is the IP. Then again, after you type in the IP, it's going to be /publish/live, or excuse me, /publish, then /. Then it will say stream name or stream key, which you're going to put in live right there. Then you're going to click advanced. And if you are doing a stream at 60 FPS, then you can force it at 60 FPS, which is what I do. And then you hit submit and make sure your unit is live. If it's not live, it will not take it in the setting. Mine's currently offline. I'll turn it on once I'm ready to start streaming towards it. So this is how you set up a destination. So after you get all that set up, let's go ahead and install and configure our Nginx server. Hope you're still with me, because this is going to be a long video. Hopefully I can make it as quick as possible. Okay, so what we want to do is go towards our C drive, and this is where we're going to put in the 2 programs. So right click, new, then Nginx. And then you're going to open up, and you're going to go ahead and drag the files that are within the zip folder in here. And I'm using WinRAR as my extractor. So after you get that all set up, what we want to do is go towards our config, and then the config file that that is in the description, you're going to take that, you're going to drag and drop it into the config folder, you're going to right click on it, go towards the Notepad settings, and here we're going to talk about a couple of things. So these first 4 lines, don't worry about this line. If you're on Linux, then just go ahead and uncomment these out, these pound signs or hashtags, whatever you want to call it. Just go ahead and comment those out. If you're on Windows, don't even touch this. Don't even, actually, just matter of fact, don't even touch any of it, unless if you're going to make a modification towards a certain to a different pathway of a folder or a directory. Right here is going to be port 80 if you want to use this as a web-based server, because that's what it's going to be running as well. But we don't need to forward that. That's completely fine. I'm just letting you know that this will also run as a web server. However, if you want to view your statistics, such as the encoding, the upload, the bitrate, the bandwidth, etc., then from outside of your own network, then go ahead and port forward 80, that is, or you can port forward to a 8080 if you want to. Right here it'll say, excuse me, I need to breathe a little bit because there's a whole lot to talk about. Whew. Okay, so right here is our C directory, and then it's going to read from the folder Nginx, which we have currently created. And this is where we want to put in the, where was the stats? I think it's under, it's somewhere. Okay, so I'll go ahead and download the stats from the site. But this is where it will pull the stats and it'll display in towards the web browser. So if you were to not use the C drive, but you do want to see the statistics, then make sure it matches whatever folder that you're putting in towards to. So if we go towards our, it should be under source. No? There it is. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and download that, or we can just make a new copy of this. Just copy and pasta. Copy the whole thing, why not? And just new folder or new file. Then it's gonna be called stats.xsl. Then I'm just gonna go ahead and put this off to the side. Okay, so now it's on our desktop. And let me go ahead and drag it on over. Oh, it's already right there. Okay, I was looking at another monitor. So now that we have it saved, now we can go ahead and just drag it on towards our C drive, or C drive folder. And drag and drop this file, and now we're good. So back onto the Nginx config. We're already port forward 1935, and if you need to make any modifications to the modules here, you can. I'm not going to go through each one of these because we're time limited in such a big video. Right here it says RTMP :// IP here /publish/live. So when you're streaming outside of your network, this will be your external IP, which is when you go to IP chicken, it'll show your external IP. But when we're going to be setting up our OBS, we're going to be using our local IP, which is the 11.0.0.50. So I'll show you how to set that up. This is the files. You don't necessarily need to make any modifications whatsoever. So just go ahead and drag the config over to the config folder. Next is what we're going to be doing is setting up our RPM. So we're going to go ahead and download it. You're going to download the latest one. I'm going to here, and I'm going to install. Okay, great. So after that's installed, what we're going to do is open up a command prompt. Make sure we're going to be running as administrator. Then we're going to type in Node.v. Make sure it's successfully installed, which it is. Okay, so you can also run this command npm-v, and it shows another version. Okay, so what we need to do is go back towards our C drive, and now we're going to go ahead and make another folder, which it's already is within its old folder. So I'm going to go ahead and drag and drop right here. And I didn't bother of renaming it, so don't rename it for yourself. You can if you want to. If you do, just make sure that you rename it towards whatever you want, and make sure it matches within the OBS.bat. Okay, so once we're in the directory, which we're going to go ahead and copy, type in cd in the terminal, and now we're in the directory. So we're going to go ahead and follow these commands that it's giving us. So we want to type in npm space install -- production. Okay, so after that's installed, we're going to go ahead and want to make sure that everything's all up. Okay, we already did the config, we already did the stats. Okay, so we need to edit the config.json, which is really simple to do. First things first, it's going to tell us to go towards our twitchapps.com/TMI, which is going to generate a OAuth key. So I created a alt account. Where is it? Okay, so I created a alt account, which is called trash account yeet. It's meaningless to me. So once we go to the site, and I strongly recommend of you creating a secondary account so you can use this as your bot. So it takes some commands. So now we're gonna go ahead and hit connect, and it's gonna give us our OAuth key. And authorize, and now it's going to give our OAuth key. So don't share this with anyone. Obviously I'm sharing it with y'all. This is a trash account, so you can have at it of what you will with it. I don't care. Now we're going to go towards our config.json, which will be located should be oh yeah, I'm blind as a bat. Right there, config.json, which is you're gonna right click and open up with Notepad++, And right here, it talks about if you're running the machine locally, or your OBS locally, which some of you will, then that's completely fine. Just leave it how it is. If you have a password on it, this is where we're going to be setting up a WebSocket. And if you don't have a password on it, you can just go ahead and remove that and just leave it at as you will. But I strongly recommend installing a WebSocket, which you're going to be needing anyhow, and also having a password on it. So we're going to leave the password as password. We're going to be setting up some scenes, but what we're going to go down is, it's going to say channel. This is your channel, so it's going to be codexial. And it's asking for the bot username, which is 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃. trash account Then it's asking for the OAuth from the key that we just generated, and you put it right there on line 20. And you don't touch anything else, and you're gonna go ahead and hit save. Let's go ahead and set up our OBS while we're at it too, because we need to set up our normal scene. I'm just gonna move this over here. So our normal scene is gonna be screen. So this is where you're gonna be live streaming the feed towards to. And so rename, call it screen. And you're gonna be needing a BRB scene. And this is where you can set up your own customized BRB, let people know that you're about to take a tinkle or what have you. And we're going to go ahead and set up the low bitrate detected scene. And here's how it's going to be personalized to you. Do you want the low bitrate detected to show there's a couple ways to set this up. You can still have your stream showing, but it's going to have a text display saying, hey, it's low bitrate, or you can have it as a BRB scene and it'll say low bitrate. So it just depends on how you want to set it up. And we're going to also have a refresh scene. And this is where you're going to have your screen still on here, or the IRL screen still on here. And how to set up your IRL screen is, let's go ahead and just get rid of this. You're going to go towards the media source. Then you can type in IRL cam, and you're going to uncheck local file. Now it's going to say or show all this. Under input, this is where you're going to put RTMP : then the local machine IP address, which is 11.0.0.50, then /publish/live. And under input format, this is really important. You need FLV or type in RTMP. For me, I personally use FLV. This is type of the encoder, or it's transcode into that format. When I first started IRL streaming, I didn't know anything about the input format. And my screen always froze, always jittered. The audio was bad until I typed. After a while, then once I put in the input format and have that here, it actually fixed the problem. So make sure that's there. You can also copy this as well and put that on the refresh. I strongly recommend of making a whole new media source and type in IRL cam space refresh. I don't care if I misspelled it. Then do the same steps. Then it will have different, it'll pull the feed still, but it's in different, it pulls it differently. Because for an example, if screen is bad, and sometimes it does go bad, like there's the audio will mute, and you want to have like a screen 2 and a screen 3 and set up separate media sources, this will help you out a whole lot. So just want to throw that out there. And low bitrate detected and BRB is however you want to set that up. Okay, cool. We're going to go ahead and install a WebSocket, which is We're gonna go to Google and we're gonna type in OBS WebSocket. Which I totally forgot to mention that we need to also install this as well. Links will be in the description. You're gonna hit download. Then it'll take you here. Then you want to scroll. Actually, let's go ahead and click on you. Scroll down where it says Windows Installer right there. Click on that. Then it will download and we're going to install it. Let's move that over here. And we want to make sure OBS is closed. Yes, just go ahead and hit install. That's fine. It's not going to mess around with OBS. It's going to add stuff to OBS. Now we're going to go ahead and open it. And now if you go towards your tools and go to WebSocket server settings, back on towards the config.json, when I said the password, it's going to be asking for a password now. And so this is where you're going to enable authentication, and you can leave whatever you want as for the password. So the password's going to be password for me, just for the sake of the video. Awesome. So, and when we also port forward 4444, this is where we can connect outside of our own network. So it would be under, where's the website at? Let me Google this again. It will take you to a website, which is, it will say, where is it? Right here. So this is like, when you port forward, and also you can use this locally on your machine, or you can type in the IP address of your internet, and then you'll be able to mess around with these scenes manually if you need to. You can also do that in towards the Twitch chat, which I'll show you a little bit later. So now it's asking for a password, which is the password. So now if we go, like, if you're connected outside the network, we can move this over here, move that over here, and if I click refresh, it'll go to refresh. See, now it's switched to refresh. Or if I need to go to the bathroom, it'll go to the bathroom. Or if I need to go to the bathroom, then put it to BRB. You can also customize a little bit more towards it, but that's for a different video. So let's go ahead and close out of all this and continue on setting everything up. So back towards our command prompt, what we need to do is type in RTMP start. Then now it's connected towards our OBS and everything's in. Now we're gonna go towards our channel, our Twitch channel. Let me unhost my friend here. Sorry, you're not important right now. I love you. Okay, so we need to make sure our where's our bot? He's not in. Where is he? Okay, let's go ahead and cancel that out, terminate it. I'm going to start it again. And he should be there. Okay, yep, he's right there. So trash account yeet, that's the bot account. You want to make sure that you mod this bot, mod, and give it channel editor by going to the roles. And you go to the, I don't want to show the roles, but if you go to the roles, and I'll put a link right here. Actually, I'll just give you a link. So once you go to this link, right here. There'll be whatever username in between. Oh, no. Oh, okay. It'll show this access denied. But on this page, you will look for your bot account, then you'll give it channel editor. Then that's basically it. Really simple. Okay, so that's it for setting all that up. I just want to double check if I'm missing out on anything else. Probably am. Might overlook some things. Okay, let's talk about the commands. I just want to double check that I'm missing out on anything. I am not. Okay, so let's talk about the commands. Once you are on, where is my Twitch? Twitch chat. I have stuff everywhere. Okay, so if you are, was it right in front of my face this whole time? If you are going to be running commands from chat, you can, and these are the commands. So if you want to host a channel, then you type !host and space the name of the channel. If you want to start the stream, it'll be !start. If you want to stop the stream, it'll be !stop. Now, if you want to manually switch the scenes, it'll be !switch, then whatever the scene name is, which is screen or screen 2, screen 3, or BRB. If you're having stream issues, I strongly recommend typing !refresh, and this will try to refresh the OBS scenes, so it'll try to pull that signal in. If it's not, then try !fix. Personally, for me, this didn't really work out whatsoever. Now, to what makes the scene switch between from BRB or to low bitrate, then back to the normal scene, is the trigger, then the value. This is the bitrate. I strongly recommend leave it defaulted at 1000, but if that's not satisfactory with you, then you can leave it at a 1500 or 200, and if it goes, or excuse me, 2000, if it goes below 2000, then what it will do is it will go to BRB scene. But as for me, 1000 is fine. If it goes below 1000 bitrate, it will switch it to a different scene, and it'll show BRB or low bitrate detected scene. So you can mess around with that if you want to. The public commands is basically, this is the only public command, so any user could type in !bitrate and you'll see what your bitrate is, or they will see what your bitrate is as well. You can turn that off if you want. Type !public, then off, so they can't type that in, only you can. So that's as far the commands. Let's go ahead, and we need to have the Nginx server also running. So Nginx stats are right there. Okay, cool. We're gonna go ahead and exit out of this, and as you can see, it closed out the WebSocket. These are where the two scripts come into play. So if you want this to automatically start whenever the computer starts, then you need to put this in towards your Windows startup folder by typing in the Windows key, then +R at the same time. Type in shell, then colon, then startup. Then you type in enter. Then the startup folder has come through. Then you're going to drag and drop these two items in. I strongly recommend of making a shortcut to them, and take the shortcuts and put it on your desktop. So now, the first thing when your computer starts up is the Nginx, which we'll go ahead and run the Nginx right now. So it's going to be launching the Nginx server. I don't think it ran it quickly. I think it did. It's just displaying the output a little bit differently. Let's see, Nginx. I think it ran it. Only way to find out is to go towards our local machine. Ah, it did. Okay. Yeah, it's running just fine. So don't close out of this. Just go ahead and minimize it when that pops up. And the secondary command prompt will pop up as well, which is going to be the automatic low bit rate. So after this run, like both of these will run at the same time, but I gave it 30 seconds of time to allow this to run first, the Nginx server, then the automatic low bit rate. So after 30 seconds, then it will start running. Then you'll see OBS, blah, 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 IP address here will pop up on the bottom right. Yep, there it is. That's all it takes. So yeah, everything's all in. Now, what we have to do is start live streaming towards our OBS. And then when we're ready, once you see the feed from OBS, then we can go ahead and stream it. So let me go ahead and set up my my LiveU, my Sony camera. I'm gonna have to end the video right here and continue on with another video once I set that all up. Okay, and we're back. I have my LiveU set up. I also set up a couple of examples. So this is the low bit rate. It says I have connection, donate and love me, low bit rate, and like BRB, probably pooping. I know this is not professional setup, but you get the idea. Use your imagination. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and start live streaming from our LiveU. Let me go ahead and start live streaming. I'm not gonna be pointing the camera at me because I'm naked and I don't want to get dressed. See, this is one of the benefits of being a tutorial channel is you can be naked and no one will know, and I'll be teaching you stuff. That's the future I want to live in, is where you can be like naked in front of the class, but just have like something censored out below. I don't know. Okay, so now that we're live streaming, and since we have everything port forwarded correctly, we're just gonna go ahead and, okay, see, now this is, I just had to switch between the two, and it automatically started to pool things. So as you can see, it's now pooling. So this is a 20 or 720 resolution from my LiveU, and you can have that scale down in your OBS settings as 720 if you want to match that, or you want to leave it at 1080, whatever. So all the settings are up to you. The one thing that I strongly recommend is lower down the audio just where it's at 20. People still be able to hear you fine, but my microphone is so sensitive that it's peaking. So this is where you can start adding all of your overlays and whatnot. You can start, let's go ahead and type in a couple of commands, and you don't have to be online on Twitch to type in these commands, but let's see, switch to BRB, and now it's going to BRB. Go ahead and type in switch and type in the name of this scene that you want to go back towards to, which is screen. Okay, so it went back. Don't worry about the name actual. That's my actual bot thing, but the trash account, that's the one that you want to worry about. So I just want to clarify that. I want to trigger a bitrate where it's, let's just say we're dropping bitrate, and this is an example. 7,000 is going to be the bitrate. And it's like, oh, it's not reaching at, oh, is it actually reaching at 7,000? Oh, okay. Let's reach it at 10,000. I hate how it auto hosts. Well, I don't hate it. I just hate how I'm trying to auto host right now. What is my bitrate? Offline. Well, you got to start streaming to start seeing the bitrate from that, which is coded in. I wish otherwise, but I guess once actually no, it doesn't make sense. Once we start streaming, let's go ahead and let's see if we can stream from our. We're gonna stream towards a different channel, our bot channel actually. So let's go ahead and set that up. Without this, where's our bot? Did I close out of it? I think I did. Okay, we're gonna start streaming from our actual channel then. Why not? Let me go ahead and move this towards the side. Let me get the stream key.
Welcome to the rice fields, motherfucker!
Okay, now that I have my stream key into the OBS, now we're going to start messing around. So let's go ahead and put our trigger back to 1000 bitrate. And we're just going to go ahead and type in !start. And it's going to start up the stream. All right, right there, the stream's starting up. As you can see, give it a second. Ooh. Okay, so now that we started up, I'm pretty sure that's going to be someone here that's going to be like, hello. And I'm like, hi, then bye. Okay, so now let's go type in !bitrate. And now you can see that we're at almost 4000 bitrate. So if we go ahead and go higher than 4000 by typing in !trigger, then go towards, let's try 5000. And now it automatically switched to a different scene. You see that? So as soon as we get to a serviceable area, which we can start getting decent bitrate, hopefully above 1000, then it'll switch it back to the scene. So we're gonna go ahead and type in trigger !1000, and then it's like, oh, hey, the bitrate's good. Now we're gonna go back to scene, or excuse me, to screen. See, look at that. And that's basically it. Let me go ahead and type in !stop. And now I just totally killed off my own screen, or Steam. Steam stream. I can't. I'm lost for words already with this video. But you're still live streaming, or you're still streaming towards your OBS server until you stop streaming from your live view, which I'm going to go ahead and start doing. And then it's going to cut the feed just like that. Word. All right, I hope that this video was informative. I know that there's a lot to take in. It's really mind-boggling. I know. I do apologize. But if this video was helpful, please subscribe to the channel, drop a like, hit the post notifications for the next video to whenever I upload another video. Consider of becoming a Patreon supporter by going to patreon.com/𝗶𝗶𝗀𝗀. Links will be in the description. I'm just gonna go ahead and shut the hell up. You enjoy the rest of your day. Rewatch the video if you need to. I'm just gonna go ahead and go. All right, you guys take care. Peace. Thank you for sticking around. Please feel free to watch my other videos. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, follow my social media. If you're feeling generous, check out my Patreon or send in a donation of any amount with PayPal. It really helps out with post-production, equipment, food in my belly, and also continue making free content for you guys. Links in the description. Y'all take care, and thank you once again.